Minister, just to say that I had indicated to your office on Monday that at the outset of this meeting I would seek clarification from you on the Supreme Court judgment on the case of the widower Johnny O'Mara, which has relevance to the bill before us today. Now, in a nutshell, Minister, the Supreme Court decision effectively stated that the state can promote family based on marriage without the need to discriminate against non-marital families. Now, this judgment gives rise to a number of significant questions, and I think the most urgent one is, Minister, what now is the position of those in similar circumstances who applied previously to your department for the widow's pension and were refused, or those who didn't apply due to the legislation that was in place? And I think it is imperative, Minister, that they are not excluded, and that the maximum 6-month arrears cap that is currently in place would not apply in these circumstances, as the legislative provisions that were in place have now been found to be unconstitutional. Minister, while this judgment only relates to the surviving parent of children, what is the position regarding the surviving cohabitant partner with no children? And secondly, Minister, does family in terms of widows now include situations where there is a fostering situation or an informal care arrangement for a child? And furthermore, Minister, could this lead to a situation where more than one widow's pension would be paid out after one individual passes away? And just finally, Minister, then, what's the impact of this judgment on pension entitlements of cohabiting couples versus married couples? Now, I know, Ministers, there's a lot of implications in relation to this, but these are some of the pertinent questions that are being asked at the moment. There are thousands of people across this country that are impacted or potentially could be impacted by this judgment. So any clarity you can give the committee on this matter here this morning would be very helpful.
Okay, here, look. There are a number of very relevant and important points you've just raised there with me in terms of the judgment in the O'Mara case. First of all, I do want to acknowledge the loss that Mr. O'Mara and his family have suffered, and again I extend my sympathies to Mr. O'Mara and his children on the loss of a partner and a mother. And indeed, no payment from the state can make up for that loss, as we know. But this particular case relates to social welfare law, which sets out entitlements to a widower's or a surviving civil partner's contributory pension, a pension which under the law as currently enacted is only available to a surviving partner who was party to a marriage or a civil partnership. My officials and the Office of the Attorney General are now considering a very detailed judgment, which is over 160 pages in 3 judgments in total. The Supreme Court hasn't made its final order yet. They're going to make that order on Friday. And in the meantime, I'm engaging with the Attorney General on the impact of the judgment, but I do need to see the court order before we can actually make any further decisions. So the judgment and the orders, as you know, it's complex. So it is going to require careful consideration, and as the judgment itself said, there needs to be a nuanced approach here. So I will be working very hard with the AG, with my officials, and I will deal with this as a matter of urgency, and I will be bringing forward legislation to change this in compliance with the judgment. So. That's all really I can say at the minute, but I can assure you that I won't be, I will be dealing with this as quickly as I can. But I want to make sure I get it right, because there's a lot of other issues that could, that I need to consider.
Thank you, Minister.